All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chai Kudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right, I was a high spirit in Judah. All right, today I want to go into a topic entitled Divine Femininity. All right, Divine Femininity, excuse me. All right, and I'm doing this topic, all right, based on something that was on my spirit. You know, me and the brother, Elder Kazak was talking about it. You know, there are attributes of women, all right, that's pleasing and it's pleasing in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And it's attractive, but it's not the type of attractive that was promoted here in Babylon, which is sensual attraction that is basically provocative in the sense that it provokes the opposite sex to want to have sex with her, regardless of whether they know her or not. So that's not the type of attraction, all right, that the Most High wants his women to attract men with. He doesn't want his women to attract strangers through provoking them or enticing them to want to lay with them. All right, so there's another type of attraction that men of Yahweh Shema Shai, or a traditional man in general, and ultimately Yahweh Shema Shai finds pleasing, all right, in his eyes, man, in his sight, man. So we're going to get into it. First, we're going to get the definition of femininity, all right?
Feminine.
Now, this is the free dictionary, and it says feminine. It says first definition, adjective, of or relating to women or girls. Second definition, characterized by or possessing qualities traditionally attributed to women, such as demureness. And let's get that word, demureness. All right, copy. All right. Demure. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing it.
Demure.
Demure. I'm sorry.
Demure.
That word. All right. So it says modest and reserved in manner or behavior. So something that's feminine, all right, has demure. All right. And it basically means modest and reserved in manner or behavior. Characterized by or suggestive of reserve or modesty. So that's what we're going to build this lesson on. All right. So the word feminine goes back to demure, all right, which goes back to modest and reserved in manner or behavior. This is attractive and is pleasing to the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai, characterized by or suggestive of reserved or modesty. All right. And if you go into the etymology of it, it says probably from Anglo-Norman, influenced by Old French mure, past particle demure, to delay, to wait. All right, basically having reserve or restraint. All right, and it's funny because the word, that's where you get the word waitress from. Because in the ancient world, really in the time of our forefathers, really the woman was in a lot of a waitress, because she would wait on the demand or the order of her husband. All right, but also it ultimately goes into modesty, reserved in manner or behavior. This is feminine. This is feminine, and it's divine feminine because it's actually written by men of Yahweh Shema Shai, or ultimately by Yahweh Shema Shai, that this is what's pleasing in his eyes, and we're going to get it. All right. So we got the definition of feminine. All right. So let's get Titus 2 and 5. It says, I think I have to jump up a verse. All right, this is the Blue Letter Bible. All right, and I'm going to start at Titus 2 and 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, are pure, not false accusers. All right, not giving too much wine. They're going out and making a fool of yourself, getting drunk, man. You got women who get drunk, man. All right, and they let all type of guys dry hump them all in the club. They just pass them around like a box of pieces getting a slice, man. You don't even know where you at. All right, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. All right, so if a woman, or there's an Israelite woman, and she's taught to love her man, all right, not husband in the sense of we went through the court system and got paperwork, but love her man, which is her husband, through sex, through a union, all right, and to love her children, All right, that's divine femininity. All right, when a woman is covered, especially when they had a head covered and that their bodies are covered, that shit is attractive. But it's a different type of attractive, man, and it exudes a different type of energy. All right, it says Titus 2:5 to be discreet. All right, which discreet goes back into self-control. And let's get there right quick. So you won't just think I'm just making up stuff as I go. All right, it says to be discreet. Let's get that in the Greek.
Strong's G 4998. Sophron. Sophron.
Sophron. Sophron. All right, it says of a sound mind, sane in one's senses. And Eve is out of her damn mind right now, man. Because she's not in alignment, all right, to what's expected of her, or from her foremothers, if you may call it, or her forefathers, man. Which is to be self-control, to have self-respect, right? It says, for discreet though, it says, curbing one's desires and impulses. Divine femininity, curbing one's desires and impulses. So yeah, you're going to have your needs, Eve. Your body is going to have demands. That doesn't mean you go all through your phone and through these little apps and casually dating these men without being a part of a fucking union. Curbing one's desires and impulses. Self-control. Discreet means self-control. Temperate, meaning you're balanced. All right? You're balanced in your behavior. You know when to speak, when not to speak. You know when to eat food and when not to eat food, man. Because hey, the Israelite woman loves to eat. And I'm a man that loves to eat. But I've grown into balance over the course of my life. All right? Eve is a lot of Eve, those so-called nymphomaniacs, they just gotta have it. All right? Because you're oversexed, man. You overstimulated. All right? But the opposite of that, what makes you a woman of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, a woman that she's pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shema Shai, is that ability to control her impulses, not to control her impulse to speak. You know, you women love talking over men. Control her impulse to want to have sex or different men. All right, you're going to have your temptations. We know you're not robots, but it's the ability to curb that, man. All right, because according to our forefathers in the world of Israel, to be governed by your flesh, you're an animal. You're a heathen. You're a beast. You're a savage. And that's not cute, man. Because that's displeasing, not just to us, to Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's who you want to have a hedge over you in the times to come. But it says, curbing one's desires and impulses. Self-control. Temperate. Okay? You know? But there's more. There's more. All right, so, yeah, we don't have time to be uplifting women. Uplifting women for what? The only woman that needs to be uplifted is wisdom. And through wisdom, it shows us how to govern our women. And according to wisdom, all right, our women don't need uplifting right now, man. Because when we get uplifted, they're going to be uplifted. That's how that works, man. All right? So, going back to Titus 2:5, to be discreet, to be chaste, all right, which means pure. Keepers at home. So, hey, you women, man, you need to start practicing the art of homekeeping, all right? You know, there's a science, there's an Ammonite woman. She actually has a book out about housekeeping. She actually has a series on Netflix, or has had a series on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on it, all right, about how to order your house to a certain science, man. All right, when a woman has a house to a certain order, hey, it exudes a certain divine presence, man, in the home. All right, and we're gonna get that, man. All right, but it says to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. All right, but I went into keepers at home, right, because that's supposed to be a certain order. There's a certain science all right, to housekeeping. It's not like, oh, you just you see me from Color Purple with the overly grumpy, dark skinned husband is always just aggressively barking at you and bossing you around. No, there's a divine order when it comes to maintaining your house, man. Keeping everything clean. All right. You might got certain incense lit, certain essential oils going through a diffuser. Everything is just clean. You got the sunlight going through the windows, man. The little ones, their clothes are folded up. All right. The husband's clothes are folded up. All right. You might have the TV going with certain instrumentals, suave music playing in the background. Hey, man, that's Jerusalem, man. I'm now being subjective because I'm into plants, but you might have plants in your house. I mean, that's a divine presence when you do stuff like that. That's Jerusalem, man. See, we unplugging from Babylon. We going back to our homeland spiritually and physically, or ultimately physically. Okay? But right now, we got to make our house Jerusalem, our way, our environment Jerusalem, man. The things that we can control. All right? So I wanted to keep us at home, right? All right, so let me see if it's all right. I think it's that's chapter 36, and I'm actually gonna, before I get 36, because that's a powerful chapter 2, I'm going to get 26. This is the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, the 26th chapter. All right, so I think it's in this verse, the book of Sirach, the 26th chapter. All right, it says, Sirach 26 and 13. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. All right, will fatten his bones. Verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed, because there's a way that you want your house to be governed, and she's maneuvering off of that way. That's a mind well instructed. She was raised by a father to be a certain way. Because they got a saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Hey, that's true, man. It's hard to get a woman that was never domestically trained when she was young, get her in your household, and now she just got it all. But on the contrary, you know, we all were basically filthy rags before we woke up. So there's always something called growth and learning, man. So whatever you didn't know coming up, you learn it now, you know? Starting with the scriptures and coming back to your nationality, man. Nobody is shaming you for who you were, all right? The spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right? He's shaming our women of who they willfully still want to be, all right? But this is Sirach 26 and 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. All right, as the sun when it arises in the high heaven. And it's going into a whole poem about a woman being in her divine femininity, man, her divine feminine, man. As the sun when it arises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. That's what I wanted to get into, because in Titus it went into what? A keeper of the home. And in your Western mind, you think, well, that's so oppressive, that's boring. No, it tells you in Sirach 26 and 16 again, as the sun when it arises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her home. So this is getting into what makes a woman attractive. All right, and it's not just her natural beauty. All right, it's her behavior. It's how she takes that feminine energy, and she turns a house into a home. All right, she turns her husband into a strong, confident, secure man, because he know Bay got his back, right? All right, so verse 17, moving on. It's the clear light is upon the holy candlestick, so it's the beauty of the face in ripe age. Yo, because they got some called hit the wall now, but it's their fault, man. It's their fault that you waited till you was 42 to get married, 35 to get so-called married or settled down, man. All right? A woman's supposed to get married in her ripe age. All right? Verse 18, Sirach 26 and 18. As the golden pillars are upon the sockets of silver, so are the fair feet with the constant heart. Yeah, hey, a constant heart. That's beautiful. A stable woman, man. Not no wishy-washy, here today, gone tomorrow. She with you today, ghost you tomorrow. She hot one day, she cold tomorrow. Nah, a woman has that balanced spirit. Or she doesn't make fights about every little thing that piques her, because women are detail oriented. But the dark side to their that trait is that they notice every little thing. So it takes a mature woman not to overreact over every little thing that she doesn't see fit. Okay? So from there, since I'm already in the book of Sirach, I'm gonna get more into it. Sirach, go back to where I was at first, the 36th chapter. I just wanted to get into that because that's a science, man. They got something called feng shui amongst Moab, but you don't even have to get that deep. But it's just the ordering of your house, man. There's a science to meal prepping for the little ones, having the clothes folded, all right? The cleanliness of your house, creating a good atmosphere. Hey, a part of the reason why y'all might have a lot of contention, because the house might never be clean. Filthiness brings in unclean spirits, man. Okay? That's just a thought, Hey, and the reason why a lot of times the house not clean, because you too busy looking inside of this right here. Unless you looking at the scriptures, and you're gonna have an entertainment, but it's a time and a place, because it tells you that the woman is what? Temperate. Discretion also goes back to temperate, balance. So when to watch entertainment, watch your Netflix, but also know, okay, now the house gotta be straightened up. I gotta fold the clothes for the week. You gotta be an adult, man. You gotta be a woman, be mature. All right. Sirach 36 and 22. This is going into divine femininity, man. Sirach 36 and 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man love nothing better. Because we love women, right? If there be kindness, this is the real beauty. This is what makes her beautiful. All right? Verse 23. If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue. Telling your man it's okay. It's okay, babe. It's not that bad. It's gonna be okay. That's comfort. That's divine femininity. That's of Yahweh Shema Shai. The Most High manifests His Spirit through us, through our masculine. All right, but He manifests His Spirit through our women, through that feminine, man. But this is your divine femininity. It's not worshiping you because you thick. No, this is you being in your divine feminine. All right, Sirach 36 and 23. If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then it's not her husband like other men. Because like I said, it makes him secure. All right, it says 24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself, because a woman's divine role is to be a helpmeet to her husband. And a pillar of rest. Now, what does a pillar do? Let me turn this camera the other way. Let's just say this right here. I'm sitting on a pavilion, right? But these little supports is holding up the pavilion. We would call those pillars, as an example. That's the closest thing I could get to it right now. But that pillar does what? It supports. The pillar supports. A woman's divine role is that a nourishing support to her husband. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? But you don't want to give us that power. But guess what? Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna give us that power. And if you weren't with us, and if you didn't get hedged in, all right, by a man of Yahweh Shema Shai, are you gonna get trampled down? Okay? But finally, I want to go to the last verse, all right? Because it's something I want to show brothers and sisters who are watching this. All right, this is 1 Timothy 2 and 9. It says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Now, sometimes this is the King James Version, right? Sometimes we get into the New Living Translation and we use it with discretion, because sometimes it goes off and is out of context, but sometimes it's on point. And I wanted to get the New Living Translation of 1 Timothy 2 and 9, all right? For further edification, all right? 1 Timothy 2 and 9. It says, and I want women to be modest in their appearance. They should wear decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold, apparel, or expensive clothing. Now, granted, Israelite women wore expensive clothing in our homeland, Jerusalem, but the point was not drawing attention to yourself. Now, what does the Israelite woman, especially the so-called black woman, loves to do? She likes to draw attention to herself through them damn yoga pants, through that damn cleavage, through all them damn pictures she put on social media. All right? I read that again. And I want women to be modest in their apparel. All right? They should wear decent and appropriate clothing. And to the Israelite woman, to the nigga woman, that's like boring, man. In her mind, to be modest is like wearing being dressing like a Roman Catholic nun. All right? They should wear decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold, apparel, or expensive clothing. And the key point was what? Drawing attention. The Israelite woman dresses in a way to what? Draw attention. Right? That's really, if it's not of the Yahweh Shema Shai, then what energy source is that coming from? You guessed it. All right? But if you look at women from, say, Muslim backgrounds where they require that women to be fully covered, all right? You look at women over there from Iran or certain parts of Africa, and they're fully covered, all right? They exude a whole nother type of energy, man, all right? And it's like a divine feminine. It's like a divine feminine. It's feminine energy, man, coming from an ethereal source, man, all right? And that's beautiful, man, and that's okay. But the point was, man, this is what it means to be a God-fearing woman. This is what it means to show that you're a God-fearing woman, man. Because what people have mastered in Babylon is telling you what the hell you want to hear, but their actions are contrary to their words. So a woman could tell you she love you all day. You know, women could say they fear God and they princesses and all this of Yasha Allah, or you know what I mean. But if your actions, you're not practicing these things that we just went over, then you're not with the Most High. But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Rule Well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect, Abba Baal, Kam Yasha Allah, Shalom.